most over the last 20 seasons. It was all about the penalty in this one. We bring back in Rob Ninkovich, Dan Graziano joining us. Ninko, what was your reaction to all these penalties with the Cowboys?
Well, if I was a Cowboys fan, I'd be a little bit panicked right now. You look at the Cowboys, and just in general, the way that they played, they were 3 of 13 on third down. And that was both sides. So the Raiders and the Cowboys were 3 for 13. How did they score so many points? Well, I'll tell you how. They were throwing so many flags on both sides of the football that would cause me some concern. You think about the Broncos game, and they lose that game, then they lose the Kansas City game. We thought that those would be wake-up calls for the Cowboys. Well, they're dealing with injuries. They're dealing with a lot of sloppy, undisciplined football. So if you are an undisciplined team and you have a lot of flags thrown on you, there is really no shot to go deep into the playoffs if you have that many penalties. Sorry if you hear a crazy kid above me because I have a 2-year-old. But anyway, if you have that many penalties, it's going to be really, really hard to win in a one-game season. When you hit the playoffs, it's all about playing mistake-free football. Right now, they're playing with a lot of mistakes.
We can't hear the 2-year-old, but it's nice to get some insight into the Ninkovich home. Now, Sacho, let me ask you this. You heard Jerry talk about the penalties, right? We knew this was coming. This is a crew that was in the top 5 in terms of penalties called on teams. But I wonder, if you know that going in, then why have so many penalties? What did you make of that?
Yeah, Bingo, I have an issue with Jerry Jones saying he knew this was going to be a high penalty game. Every Saturday before games, the team would have a meeting. And you have a meeting saying, hey, this is the referee crew that we're playing against. This crew specifically, the Hockey League crew, they are number 1 in defensive pass interferences called. They are number 1 in defensive holdings called. So you know that. If you know that, you don't just say, okay, it's going to be a high penalty game. If you know that, you adjust. You change a little bit of how you play. You play the game a little bit differently because you know these refs call it differently. They call it tighter. And so my issue with the Cowboys game plan specifically is that they didn't adjust, number 1, to this crew, but even a bigger picture, you're going to have to adjust moving forward because these penalties kill you in the playoffs.
So that's the penalty angle of it. Dan, I want to talk to you about the defense in all of this because this was a team for many weeks. Remember last season, they were a disaster on defense. They start this year and everybody says, wow, Dan Quinn's defense turning it around. This Cowboys team is a championship contender. What are you seeing in this defense now?
So even when they were on their roll, Ryan, there was concern when you talk to people around the league, well, what do you think of the Cowboys? The question was, can their defense really stop somebody when they're not generating turnovers at the very high rate they were early in the season? And I think, right now we're starting to see some of those concerns come to life because on the back end, they are a little bit reliant on turnovers. And their pass rush is definitely banged up with DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory both out right now. So I think you're seeing a little bit of those concerns become exposed on the back end. And I don't think you can separate the defense and the kinds of penalties that were called yesterday because those were penalties that could be the result of defensive backs thinking that they're beaten or that the grabbing is the only way that they're gonna win on that play. So if that's the case, then there's a lot to correct on that side of the ball for Dallas if they want to get where they want to go.
Yeah, speaking of correction, Ninko, I got to ask, how do you fix it? Like, what do you do? At this point, it's week 12. You're a championship. You have championship aspirations. How do you fix it?
Well, you go to the local sporting goods store, you go and buy a bunch of tennis balls, you put them in all your DB and linebackers' hands, you duct tape their hands so they can't hold. And I can talk about being a little bit panicked. When I used to have to cover, Rob Gronkowski in training camp, I would hold sometimes. You know why? Because I was a little bit like, wow, I can't cover this guy. He's uncoverable. I can't cover him. What do I do? Well, I have to hold him. I have to grab him. I have to throw the flag on me. So guess what? I'd have the tennis ball in the hands, and Rob would catch the ball all over me. But anyway, let's just say that the way that you correct it is practice. You go in early, you try and do the best that you can, but you put some tennis balls in your hands. You try to play confident because when you play confident and your confidence is high, you're not having to do that quick grab stuff. You're not playing behind the play. So when you get behind on the play, that's when you start grabbing. That's when you get a little desperate, and then that's when the penalties occur.
Tennis balls, that's the trick. Is that it? Just tennis balls?
Well, that's part of it. I mean, that's one way to go about it. That's one way, right? That's the Patriot way, if you will, for Nico.
Okay.
But another way is just doing the little things, whether it's going out 15 minutes early, whether it's just having your coaches focus on these specific drills where you're not touching the receiver past 5 yards. You drill this in practice. Drill in practice where you're turning around and finding the football. You drill in practice when you try and not just get the interception, but pat the ball down and make the tackle. All these things are technique issues. And technique issues, now that you know what your issues are, they can be solved by focusing on them during practice. So I'm not concerned with the Cowboys. I think that they know what their issues are. Now they can go and focus on correcting their mistakes.
Okay, I think that's interesting because if they have these issues, it lends yourself to the idea, Dan Graziano, that maybe the coaching staff needs to step up in different ways. Who do you think is to blame in all of this in terms of how the defense is performing right now?
Well, look, we gave Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, a lot of credit when the defense was playing well. So obviously you have to look at him as the man on whom the corrections will fall if it's not. Look, again, they will get healthier on that side of the ball. Think back to the offseason, and Ryan, you referenced this. They were coming off a year where the defense was abysmal. They believe their offense can score at a high level. They scored 33 yesterday without their top 2 receivers, and their running backs playing through a knee injury. They can score. All they need is the defense to be kind of middle of the pack. And right now it's very susceptible to big plays, and obviously I think that's reflected in what you saw in the kinds of penalties that were called. 4 pass interferences on the same cornerback in one game. They obviously have to figure some things out on that side of the ball.
So, Rob Ninkovich, can this team make a deep playoff run?
Not like this, but they can. They have the pieces in place. If they can correct the mistakes and they can get healthy, yeah, they have the quarterback. They have the running back tandem. They have the defense when they're healthy. They have the receivers when they're healthy. But if they play like this with penalties and guys out of position, no, it's really hard to win when you have that many errors. So can the Cowboys, do they have the talent? Yes. Do they have to become a healthier, smarter team where they don't commit the penalties? Of course. That's what they have to do. They have to be healthy, they have to be more disciplined, and they can make a run.
A lot of things they have to do. I know it is a tough Friday morning for a lot of Cowboys fans.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.